Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. EJ opens a package of 2 cupcakes with the initials BNS inscribed in icing that was delivered over to commemorate the debut of Body and Soul at the DiMera estate. Johnny, who still feels bad about cheating on Chanel, receives 1 box from him. EJ advises him not to be too hard on himself for it. Chanel invited Joy over for supper yesterday night, and Johnny claims that the cosmos is assisting him in doing so. Since Chanel doesn't need to know about all of this, EJ advises Johnny to stop showing his guilt and to keep his lips quiet. What doesn't Chanel need to know? She asks as she enters. EJ clarifies that he didn't want to cause her further anxiety, therefore he and Johnny were talking about his argument with her mother regarding a case. He promises to work with Paulina to mend the harm. In order to allow Johnny to continue making amends for his foolishness on set, EJ promises he will leave them alone. Johnny expresses his admiration for Chanel's cupcake decorating. Chanel was not involved in their dispatch. She invited Joy to join them in watching the premiere, but she hopes there were more than 2 cupcakes. Johnny, Days, and Chanel. Joy, who is rehearsing her lines for her first performance, meets Kate in the Brady pub. Kate inquires as to whether she has yet to meet anyone in town, feeling that she has to take some time to enjoy herself. Chanel hosted her for dinner last night, and she claims it was just the cast. Roman celebrates their first online episode by bringing Kate a gift that includes another cupcake. Who sent it? She wonders. Joy and Kate chat for days. While Roman sits down and speaks with Joy, Kate leaves to make some calls regarding the cupcake. He hopes Johnny is treating her well on set and that she likes the accommodation. Joy claims that Johnny is the greatest. Chanel then sends Joy a text message inviting her to attend the premiere. Abe also gets a cupcake at Paulina and Abe's, and since the card isn't signed, they both question who sent it. Kate calls Abe, and they talk about the enigmatic cupcakes. She accepts Abe's invitation to come to the show with Roman. A cupcake is opened by Paulina. Days. Soon after, Kate and Roman arrive with champagne to see the soap opera's launch. Abe accepts Paulina's cupcake and happily devours it. He claims it's wonderful. Paulina claims that because he worked so hard on the soap, he deserves the cupcake, but he feels bad about being the only one eating it. Paulina, Roman, Abe, and Abe Days. They toast to the show as they sit down to watch it. They all agree that the soap was a huge success after finishing it. Paulina is ecstatic about her Chanel and eager to see what comes next. Once more, they raise a toast to the show. At the DiMera mansion, Johnny begs Chanel to uninvite Joy because he wants to watch the program in bed with her and regrets she hadn't invited her. Joy has nothing to do today, so she feels horrible. Joy was at their front door when EJ arrived. Chanel demands that Johnny take a seat between her and Joy as they settle on the couch. EJ wonders whether anyone will eat the cupcakes and replies that he will watch the show when he comes home. EJ takes one before leaving after Chanel passes. Johnny chooses to consume the other one. Chanel, Days, and Johnny, Joy. Joy tells Chanel she was fantastic as they wrap up the program. Chanel says she owes her spouse everything and praises him. With the exception of the actor portraying Charlemagne, Joy has met every character from the episode. They tell her about the events with Hattie, who cursed the program after being sacked. Joy believes she should leave since she needs to call her mother and has lines to learn. When Joy leaves, Chanel notices that she's acting strangely and fears that she might leave suddenly. She requests that Johnny follow her and see how she's doing. Johnny converses with Chanel every day. Joy is pursued by Johnny, who tells her that she foolishly accepted Chanel's invitation. They can't continue doing this, he says, since his guilt is getting to him. He is reminded by Joy that he promised not to speak to Chanel. Johnny claims that he is dying because of the commitment he made to Chanel, and he is unsure of how he can put things right. Upon his return to the living room, Johnny informs Chanel that Joy is doing well and that she is simply very keen to remember her lines. She checks her lines on her tablet and thanks him for checking on her. She talks on how they would have been able to move over it if Arrow had been honest with Faith about what had happened from the start, but the cover-up is far worse than the crime. A shirtless Alex welcomes Bonnie, who also has boxes of cupcakes, to his home. Bonnie planned to visit and watch the show's premiere with her. Bonnie claims that the card simply reads, "From your BNS family," but Alex questions who sent the cupcakes. She believes that Leo, who enjoys sweets, must be the culprit. She also thinks he's lonely, which explains why the screenplay makes so many references to sweets. She believes that Leo is currently drowning his soul with candy. Bonnie suspects they might be from Kate and Abe, but Alex believes Leo would want them to know he sent them. Alex continues to think the anonymous thing is strange. Bonnie stops Alex from biting into a cupcake because she gets a horrible feeling. "I hate to be Debbie Downer, but what if it's poisoned?" she asks. "Who would do that?" wonders Alex. Hattie Adams, who cursed the show, might be the culprit, according to Bonnie. Bonnie discards the cupcakes because she doesn't want to take a chance. Days of Bonnie-Alex cupcakes. Bonnie recommends that they bring Stephanie over while Alex puts on a shirt. They need their space, according to Alex, who is presumably working hard at the moment. After the performance, they compliment each other's acting abilities. Bonnie makes the decision that she must start learning her lines for the upcoming week. Alex expresses gratitude for her visit. Later, believing Bonnie is being overly suspicious, Alex retrieves the cupcakes from the garbage and eats one. Bonnie and Alex talk days. Leo is startled to discover Javi next him when he wakes up in bed. Leo attempts to translate the Spanish that Javi is speaking to him. Javi claimed to have a devil's mind, a god's body, and an angel's smile. "That is the sweetest thing someone has ever said to Leo," he claims. According to Javi, yesterday night was both amazing and chaotic. Leo invites him to stay for breakfast and his act after they share a kiss. Javi chooses to stay and disregard Gabi's texts. His cousin barely pays him minimum wage, so he complains about how cheap she is and claims he'll need to find a new job soon. Days with Leo and Javi. Leo gets a cupcake when he orders them breakfast. When Javi inquires about the show, he provides him with a brief overview of its background. He claims that his reliable laptop contains 3 months' worth of scripts. In order to prevent information from getting into the wrong hands, Leo claims that even if Javi's followers would likely kill to see them, they could become disinterested if they knew what was going to happen. They quickly determine that neither of them is hungry and return to their beds. Later, as Leo gets into his nice pajamas to watch the show, he discovers Javi in bed using his laptop. Leo notes that they have a large-screen television, but Javi prefers to watch it in bed. Abe is the narrator that introduces the show as they start streaming it. When they're done, Javi tells Leo the show was fantastic and gets dressed. Javi says he had a great time, but he has to go to work. Leo claims that he did as well, and they want to repeat this shortly. Leo acknowledges that it's been a while since he felt this way. It was incredibly helpful to open up to Javi about losing his mother because he has never felt this way. Javi bids Leo bye with a kiss and leaves. Leo and Javi days. Paulina shows up in Horton Square and smacks the back of EJ's head just as he is ready to bite into the cupcake. She doesn't have to remove it off the unfortunate cupcake, even though he knows she's upset over Kat. Because his son called her daughter a cheating slut, Paulina claims she has a grudge against him. Although EJ is aware that Johnny is devastated by what transpired, he advises that they avoid this circumstance. Roman chooses to eat Kate's cupcake after returning to the Brady pub. Abe and Kate meet at the body and soul office in the meanwhile. The network, which Abe just spoke with, is quite happy with the results. So much for Hattie's curse. Kate believes they have been hit.